Greetings, Japan fans. Now today, we're going to look at some of our different perspectives on our team when we're coaching them. We might have some maybe unconscious biases operating, and that affects how we regard them and how we interact with them when we're coaching them. So we'll just try and bring some of these to the surface and see if we can find a better way to be a more effective coach. Maishu, arigatou gozaimasu, and welcome back to the Leadership Japan series. I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and the best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery. And we have a new book I've written called How to Master Business Japan, called Japan Business Mastery. We are broadcasting around the world from Minato-ku in the center of Tokyo, the leadership capital of Japan. Now, this podcast brings insights, examples, experience about leading in Japan. Trust me, it is different here. If you have feedback on the show or preferences about potential future topics, then leave us your comments. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share this podcast. You might also enjoy the Presentations Japan series and the Sales Japan series. Wherever you get your podcast, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show is also available now as a podcast as well. This one on leadership is released every week, Wednesday, midnight Tokyo time. The free live workshop where you could ask any questions and have that dealt with on September 28th is closed off now for entries. We'll be looking at other opportunities to engage with you in the future, so stay tuned for that information. Now, before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is, if you're with your friend and you're maybe going to go out for a drink or go and do something together, have a meal or whatever, and you want to ask, do you have time? Yeah, are you free now? Or you have time? You can just say, jikan aru, jikan aru. Are you free? Are you free from now? Jikan aru, jikan aru. Do you have some time now? Jikan aru, jikan aru. Jikan aru. Do you have time? Jikan aru. Jikan aru. Jikan aru. This is episode number 326. And today we're talking about the mental game of coaching in business. Today there's a lot of discussion about conscious and unconscious bias in the workplace, especially when directed towards women. This is a significant issue. What a lot of people don't realize, though, is that this also extends into the coaching area as well. The heart of the problem is how we see our people. In the 1960s, Douglas McGregor was researching the sources of motivation in teams, and he came up with an interesting insight called Theory X and Theory Y leaders. Theory X leaders see their people as being basically stupid, lazy, unreliable, and disloyal. They have to be managed very closely, they have to be watched all the time. This means anticipating trouble, catching errors, looking for mistakes, and watching their behavior carefully. They require very close supervision. We need to tell them what to do and how to do it in great detail, because left to themselves, they will make a mess of it. We expect they will fail, so a lot of leader time is taken scanning the horizon for trouble, observing them closely for poor performance, and berating them when they make mistakes. The bias in how we see our people spills over into how we coach them. For a start, we probably avoid coaching them at all because we think it's pointless. Time is short, so we minimize our time spent with them. When we should spend time with them, we are firing out orders rather than letting them say much. We do most of the talking. We don't try to source their input, and we feel we have to guide them in everything because they are so useless. They feel this too. And they tend to respond by fitting in with the way we treat them. In the case of Theory Y leaders, they see the potential in their people. They believe that basically the vast majority of people are smart, honest, decent, hardworking, loyal individuals doing their best for the organization and their families. They have good abilities, are committed, and want to work hard. They can be trusted to run projects delegated. They can take ownership and can be held accountable for results. When it comes to coaching these team members, we apply a different approach to Theory X leaders. We get them talking during the coaching session. We encourage them to come up with ideas. We use good listening skills because we know that we all own the world we help create. So to get ownership, we want them to determine how the project should be run. We expect they will have ideas and that they are coachable. Now, there are 4 competency levels applying to our team members and ourselves, by the way. The unconscious incompetent is the person who doesn't realize they lack skills. They think they are better than they actually are in reality. The conscious incompetent understands they need to become better because they are not at the level they need to be and they know it. The conscious competent knows their own ability quite clearly. The unconscious competent is someone who has great, as yet, unrealized potential. They have abilities, but something is hiding it from their view. Find out more when we come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, and I want to make a note here. We do more than public courses. We also do custom in-house programs. We do these in Japanese and English. Now, today, the program is brought to you by our Step Up the Leadership program. That's the next one is the 27th of January next year, 2020. And our Leadership Training for Managers program, which will run on the 5th of November through to the 17th of December this year. It's a 7-week program. So it starts on the 5th of November, runs all the way through. Step Up the Leadership is a 1-day program. Very nice program, actually. It's a bridge between being the player to becoming the player manager or going from being a player to being a leader. And it fits in those areas that people need. Like, how do I get performance out of the team? Now I'm accountable. Well, how do I coach the people? I've got to get them to perform. How do I coach them? And, well, I found I've got to communicate with people now in a different way because I'm their leader. How do I coach them and communicate with them as a leader? And then, well, actually, what's the difference from what I was doing before to what have I got to do now? What's the breakdown here? Where should I put the emphasis? What's my role now? All of those things are a puzzlement to people who go from being a player to a leader, and normally companies just throw them to the wolves and let them swim or sink or work it out for themselves. And normally they don't drown, but they just sort of bumble along. They don't really perform. They don't really exceed expectations. They just make it. Don't let them work it out by themselves. Don't leave them on their own. Give them some training. Give them this training. Step Up the Leadership. 27th of January next year is when that's on. Now, Leadership Training for Managers, this is for people who've been leading for a while. They've probably got at least a year of experience. As I say, you've got to be bleeding from every orifice, to really understand this program. Because once you've done, the hard yards, then you realize how hard this is. Man, this leading stuff is not easy. As Yogi Berra once said famously, leading is easy. Getting people to follow you is the hard part. He's quite correct. This course goes through everything. This is the Swiss Army knife of leadership training. Unbelievable program. Deals with everything. Give your people this program. It's everything about leadership in a box. They've got the works. They've got structures in there. They've got lots and lots of scope to really mold the content to their reality, because they can customize the structures for their reality. And even in one class, we find even people from the same industry, they've got quite different problems. They've got different clients, they've got different issues, different teams. Their problems are different. We need a flexible mechanism so people can take that, run with it, and then make it work for their personal reality. Dale Carnegie, not a big case study organization. We're not Harvard doing lots of case studies all the time. The case studies we like are your reality. That's the case study we like. So all our programming is geared up for that. Leadership Training for Managers, that's where we'll go with that. We'll take your reality, we'll work on that, we'll help you to become an excellent leader in your business, in your industry, in your company, with your current team, to help you become really, really, really skilled as a leader. 5th of November, they will start, runs for 7 weeks. Excellent program. Don't miss it. Now, our website, full of useful resources. Go to enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Watch the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show on YouTube. listen to it on the podcast too. Also, over at YouTube, you can access over 800 training videos at Japan Dale Carnegie TV. Get my book, Japan Sales Mastery, the Bible for Selling in Japan, and my new book, Japan Business Mastery. Welcome back. Now, depending on whether we are a Theory X or Theory Y leader, we'll approach, situations with our competencies levels with our people quite differently. Theory X leaders are looking to fire people, while Theory Y leaders are looking to build people. If you're thinking, I don't care about the people because I am here to get results, then you are looking at trouble brewing. In today's market for staff, in Japan particularly, retaining people is going to be the critical leadership skill. The way to do that is through the combination of training and coaching. Those who don't get it will eventually work it out when they have to deal with staff turnover issues. Fine, they can't replace people so easily, and the fees for doing so are very high. Recruiters charge 35% these days. It's quite a pain to have to replace people. For the leader taking a positive view of their team, the unconscious incompetent needs coaching and training. They lack self-awareness, and exposure to training with others shows them where they have gaps. The conscious incompetent actually demands training and coaching because they know they're accountable for their results and they see their lack of skills as a career progression blocker. They're usually open to advice and are hungry to move forward. The conscious competent wants recognition for their contribution and abilities. Funnily enough, as leaders, we think, I don't need anything because they're already very good. We tend to leave them alone and work on the people who are struggling or not performing. With the people who are good, we need to tell them, you're good, and encourage them to aim even higher because we can see they have the potential. They recognize their potential too and are open to having resources made available to help them to go further in their careers. If we don't invest time in them, they are capable and will be likely to leave seeking faster progression somewhere else. They need to be coached to get to the highest level possible and retained in the organization. The unconscious competent is like finding a gold nugget. Here they are, working away under the radar, only doing a fraction of what they're capable of. They are not expensive, and relative to their potential productivity are a bargain. We see the spark inside them, and through coaching start to help them see what they could become. They're often holding themselves back through lack of confidence. We need to help them to gain that confidence by giving them progressively more and more responsibility to show where they can shine. Through training and coaching, they can unlock their hidden abilities and become a strong contributor in the organization. So, as a coach, how do you see your people? Theory Y leaders build organizations. They see their people in different stages of development and adjust their approach to suit rather than bundling many of them into the hopeless category and giving up on them. Take another look at your own unconscious biases towards your people. Check to make sure you are not creating a leadership nightmare for yourself by the way you see your people in the team. Are you a Theory X or Theory Y leader? Have you segmented your people into the 4 competency levels and adjusted your coaching to suit? Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, tell your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share this podcast. You can contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Lots of great stuff over on our website, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. Watch our videos at Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. Start reading Japan Sales Mastery. Also, my new book, Japan Business Mastery. Listen to my other podcasts, the Presentation Japan series, the Sales Japan series, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Watch my TV show, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show on YouTube. Comes out every Tuesday. Until the next episode, take what you thought valuable, put it into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners. So be one of them. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy here in Japan, here to help you grow your business.